but for some reason, this feels very overwhelming right now. But we're gonna act like I'm talking to one of my best friends, and hopefully, this goes a little better. I'm like frantic right now. But hello, hi, I'm Precious. I am 24, and I am currently, I would say, in a very much growing, rebranding, shadow working, discovering era of my life. And today, this is my first full YouTube video, and I kind of thought, what better way to start than a little kind of story time / get ready with me. So we're going to the gym, and yes, I did my makeup to go to the gym. I know there are a lot of opinions on that, but in my opinion, I just feel like I shouldn't be able to romanticize every single aspect of my life right now, and that includes getting ready for the gym. And I just feel like I should make it such a big occasion, you know, that I'm going out into the big wide world. That's like I love saying that, because it is the big wide world, and here I am getting ready to go out into it. But yes, so recently got diagnosed with, officially got diagnosed with like ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, all that good jazz. So if at any point I blank or say something twice, please, bear with me, okay? Yes, please. So where do we begin? I already told you guys I'm 24. Yes. I had this, let me just say, like, I had this all planned out. Really was, ready to do this. I was like, yep, this is gonna be it. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be good, seamless. And now I cannot remember a single word I wanted to say. So this is gonna be very, very off the record. But yes, so 24 right now. Currently, we'll say in between jobs. So the crazy thing is actually that I had, I'm doing my makeup to go to the gym. I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz, especially when I'm going to the gym. I don't want to do a full-on pomade because I feel like that would be too much. So yes, Anastasia, again, I'm so sorry if this is everywhere. Like, you really try to like set things in motion, and then you get to it and then you just are completely anew. But yes, but this primer right here, this woman, shout out to the woman at Sephora that told me about this. Calorie, I'm gonna try to zoom into it, I think, when I, edit the video a little bit. This So Blown Clean Blurring Primer with collagen peptides, and it got niacin in my opinion, okay? This right here, the truth. So yes, so I am kind of starting this because I am in a moment in my life where I am going for everything that I desire, and content creation has always been something that I've started and stopped off, started, stopped. Like, I'm super into like animation and production and editing and all this type of stuff. Like, I've made videos in the past for like my friends, for myself, and my friends always, kind of boosting me and telling me like how good I am at it. And I'm like, okay, let's go full blown on it. And I will be honest, right now, I don't have a job. I actually quit my job at the beginning of last month. I was an area manager for like a corporate housing company, like a short-term rental. I covered DC, Maryland, and Virginia. But then my mom had a stroke at the beginning of April. It was her first stroke ever, and absolutely horrified me because I'm the oldest, and I have two younger siblings who are my entire like world, to be honest. And it was such a big shock. Well, not really a big shock because my mom's health has always been like something I have had to like be weary of, and it's always been something that really hasn't been the best, like ever since like my childhood and stuff. Yes, I'm 24. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. And it's just something that has always been at the forefront of my mind. Like I have to get it, I gotta get it, because who's gonna take care of my siblings? And I have like younger step siblings, and I just, younger siblings and all that good, younger cousins and all that good jazz. So it's always when I have to get it. So then, my mom had a stroke back in the beginning of April. And then actually, I'm so sorry to like just say this, because like it's like I've gotten to a point now where I have been able to process and get over it, and not really get over it, but move on from it and learn my lessons from it. But it's still just a very heavy truth in my life right now. But my dad recently passed away, but he committed suicide actually, and unfortunately took the life of another as well. And it really, and this was at the end of April, so April was just such a kind of, oh my gosh, like month for me and my family, that it was just a lot. And through that entire time, I was just begging God, universe, I should say I do believe in Christianity, but I am not like if you ask me a Bible verse, I ain't gonna be able to say a Bible verse. It's not that I grew up in the church, but my parents, who are both, my mom's Cameroonian, and my dad his parents were Sierra Leonean and South Indian. So religion was something that was very big in my household growing up, but it was very strange to me the way it was presented. But we can go into a whole thing on that another time. Also, Fenty Beauty concealer, hydrating long wear concealer, absolutely adore it. I just recently got onto the whole hydrating concealer train, and I love it. So when that happened with my dad, like it happened in a different state. He stopped living with us like a while ago. I have an older stepsister, but she had lived with my dad until she was 2. So I was like the first kind of kid my dad like fully lived with and stuff. And one of the things was that he left a note, a couple notes at the scene, and they had, patent graph concealer, patent graph so he had left a note, a couple notes at the scene, and he had asked me to adopt like the daughter that he had that I didn't really know about. So yeah, it's just been like a very crazy time, to be honest. And as I mentioned, I was an area manager, and I covered like over, I think I had like 120 units in my market, because I covered the DMV, and that was 120 different members, clients, what you want to call them, that needed undivided attention. And like I said, this happened at the end of April, and I was traveling back and forth to Minnesota and stuff the whole time while I was still working. And my job, unfortunately, was already kind of overwhelming, to be honest, and there were a lot of things kind of blocking me within the company that just didn't allow me to fully do my job. Foundation, Ilia Foundation, Stick Foundation, Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. And my friend put me on, and I just want to say, if this is super confusing, I'm so sorry. And I'm new to this, so if there are any like recommendations on how to like speak to people, like I know how to speak to people, but speaking to people like in this kind of context, like I don't know if it's easier just for me to stay on one topic and then move to another, or if this whole bouncing around thing is working. I don't know. But yes, Fix and Plus spray. My friend put me on to this, shout out today, and I literally use it like in between every step, to be honest, because I just love what it does. But yeah, so I came back and started working, and my childhood was already my childhood. I had to already work through a lot of things, and I thought I worked through a lot of things, but sometimes you're given that final test, like, hey, have you really dealt with stuff? And my father and I really never had like a good relationship, so having all this like put right in my face was a lot, to say the least. So then when I came back and I, started working again, it was like I'm getting calls left and right. Like we had flooding at one of our buildings, people's cars. So it was like, everybody, had very big, very pressing matters. And as manager, it was my responsibility to deal with them. But at the same time, I didn't feel like I was properly dealing with myself. I felt like I was trying to just, kind of use work to take my mind off of things, which was helpful for a little bit, but things started to get very overwhelming, and I felt like I couldn't even, see, couldn't even breathe, couldn't even think. And it was so crazy because when I decided to quit my job, it happened because I was reading a book, Women Who Run with Wolves. Absolutely phenomenal book. I recommend everybody read it, like man or woman. And even if you are outside those two terms, if you identify something, I believe every single person should read it because it does such a good job at speaking to like the soul. And I think the way she incorporates stories and then reflects on the stories, I feel like anybody could gain something, from the book. And the wonderful thing is that like it's not one of those books that you have to like read chapter 1 to read chapter 2 to read chapter 3. No, you can kind of jump around. I think, and it has these beautiful like endnotes and a bibliography and all this great jazz, and I absolutely love it. Although, just want to say, my makeup techniques are a little, I guess, outdated. I don't know. I'm trying to pick up on like newer makeup tips and tricks and all that great stuff. Sorry for the voices. I hope I don't offend anybody with that. It's just that the voices are so much fun to do sometimes, and then it's just anyway. But yeah, so I was reading Women Who Run. Well, I forgot to do like other people. And there was a chapter where it was just talking about intuition and like just knowing and like giving in, like giving in to what you believe in, kind of like that wild woman, ready to break away from the regular. And it was literally like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had to deinstall like a unit because we were leaving a building, and I just could not sleep. Like I just couldn't sleep. And I went to, because I had access to all the units and whatnot. And I went, and again, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was after I read this chapter, and it was just this unshakable like kind of thought of like, this is not for you anymore. Like this is not what you need anymore. Like there's so much more for you. And the crazy thing was that I started off this year, like the year prior I read this other book. I love reading, and if you have any book recommendations, please love the book recommendation. In 2024, at the end of 2024, I was reading / audio listening to this book, How to Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And one of the biggest things I took away from that book was that like simply changing your words from I want to I will, and planning and really visualizing what it is that you want and creating a theme for the year. And it was just so emotional, like for me at the end of the year, and I literally took like a week plus to like handcraft my vision board. Like I had a different job also at the time, but I was actually in an office space. I was a manager for like commercial, like kind of like mini commercial offices. And so at my building, I could stay after work and just do homework, because I'm also in school right now. I'm getting my master's right now in psychology, and I'm trying to apply for another program that I would absolutely I will get into. Speaking into systems, and so I would stay after work. I would do homework, and when I was reading How to Choose Your Enemies Wisely, like that importance of just planning. So like I took so much time like after work to like craft my vision board, and everything. And I was just so ready to take on this year. Had such exact plans. I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And the year literally started off with my job at the time letting us know that, hey, we're kind of cutting the manager position to kind of make more of like a hub manager position. But there was like 70 of us, like 70 managers, like in like DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And these hub manager positions, they were only opening like 7. And there were some managers that had been with the company for like literally 10, 15 years. Like, these were full-on adults, and we had a call where we were talking about it, and it was just so sad. Like, these people were like literally asking our, our manager or our big boss, like, what are we supposed to do? Like, I commute like via train and stuff, like I don't have a car, like da 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 da. And all they were saying was like, oh, well, just apply. And by the way, if you didn't get that position, you would be moved down to an associate position for falling asleep. Foot's falling asleep. No. Yes, they were like, you will just be moved down to an associate and take like it was like a $7 pay cut, like hourly. And I was like, okay. I was like, I know what I'm hearing here. Let me go start looking for another job. So already the year was like, whoa. Then I land the job that I had, and it was just such a blessing because like I didn't even think I was qualified for the job. And I literally had one of my other best friends, shout out Maddie, on the phone for like my final interview. I like hit her, like I had her on the phone when I was on the Zoom call, and like I meet like the interview. And literally I'll never forget when they like offered it to me, like she was so, I was like, what the heck? I was like, oh my God. So that like turned the year around. I was like, okay. And then I ended up moving because, stuff at home was stuff at home, and I just needed to get out of, that environment because I had lived in a different city and state for my bachelor's. I was in Pittsburgh, and then I came back home, and it's very hard to go back to somewhere that you weren't the happiest to begin with, and you didn't feel seen, and trying to make it work, thinking that, things will be different or things will change doesn't usually happen that way. So I got this job, and I moved to DC, and I was like, all right, let's go. Then I started the job, and it was good, and there were things that, the company was a startup company, and there was like things that I wish were different, but it wasn't my company. But I was like, okay, I'll make it work. And I started working with them in February, March, cool, April, beginning of April, Mom has a stroke. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So that happens, and then it's cool, like, not cool, but that, since she gets into rehab, and, we're like, okay, 3.5 weeks later, I hear this happen with my dad, like, killed himself, because the woman he was having an affair with, they have a kid. I, like, immediately, like, go to where it happened, and then it was just emotion after emotion after emotion. And then, like I said, like having 100+ people to take care of in my market was 100+ people that wanted undivided attention and needed help, but I was not getting help, and my family isn't really the most affluent. We never have been, so when I do, like, I've always had to kind of fend for myself type of thing, take care of myself type of thing, and just being in that situation and not feeling like it was just so much. So then, yeah, it got to the beginning of June, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I was just choked up, like I felt like claustrophobic in a way, and so I texted my boss, and then literally like 2 weeks after my dad had passed, his grandmother passed away. So then that was another, like, oh my gosh, like family was, you know, this. And then like recently, like very recently, because like I said, my family is West African. I was born here in the States, but I'm first gen. And literally very, very recently, with everything going on politically, some of my family, they're in the process, legally in the process, they're doing it. ICE agents came for my family. So then that was another thing that was like, oh my gosh, like, okay. So it's just been, it has been such a lot of canon events, sorry, foot fell asleep again. So many like big canon events, and when I made the decision to quit my job, I was just, it felt so like right to do, and it felt like something I really like needed to do, and it felt good. Now, financially, was that a good decision? Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. Like, currently, I just had an eviction notice kind of put on my door. Don't have any food in my fridge, and literally, I think I have like $6 left in my name. So would that be something like, you know, somebody would advise me to do? Absolutely not. But I still did it anyway because I just felt like I needed to just take the risk, like just see what happens, like what could happen. And I am a big believer in God and the universe and all that type of stuff. And I don't know, now that the sun is like coming in a little more right now, I feel like a little, yes, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it's still been okay, like I'm still alive, like, you know, like without the job and stuff. And I, you know, been studying for like another because I have my real estate license from Maryland, and I'm trying to get a couple different states, and I've been studying for one for DC, like this. I'm in my master's program. I'm looking to get into another one. Just going to the gym because I'm a big gym girl. You guys will see this on the channel, I promise. Thinking of like doing a powerlifting competition. I love, like I said, production, editing, anime, cannabis. Y'all gonna see that on this channel too. That is like a whole nother thing that I literally have like my little chain on. Another thing that a week ago we have a whole 10-year conversation about me and weed, but that's on what? The wing being one, okay? Okay. I hope I'm gonna be able to zoom in because that is a wing. That is a wing in it, a wing. Thank you. And we praise him. Cause what? Now, this is the other side. Be a little silent. The Knicks. Epic wear Knicks. All like, I've tried so many other other liquid eyeliners. If y'all know a better one, let me know. I'm always down to try new makeup products and love makeup. because that's on another wing. Thank God. It's just crazy. I have no idea where I left off. But yes, like I'm into so many things, and I love singing. Like when I was in high school, I went to a very, very good high school. My mom worked, I would say, super hard to like get us into a school system. My sisters won like a raffle for a Chinese immersion program, and like the elementary school and middle school that would feed into that middle school, but we lived out of the district. However, the county that we lived in, the law was that all siblings had to go to the same feeder school thing. So I ended up in a very good high school, and I'm very grateful because, you know, thinking on it now, there are so many things that I definitely did learn. Also, this is the Patrick Star One Size Ultimate Setting Powder. The truth. I wear it to the gym. It is sweat proof. I'm crazy in the gym, as you all come to see. So it is very much sweat proof. And this is Rich Peach. I have a pair of lashes that are also called Rich Peach. And that's just my vibe for the year. I'm just Rich Peach. That's all. So when I was in high school, I did everything that I could because I saw all these kids that were legacy kids. They were doing like Red Cross internship, NIA, after school lacrosse, cheer, this, racquetball. Couldn't do none of that. None of that. So I did everything from football to SGA, student government, to choir, chorus. Like that was my big thing. I was in shows. Like, so I also love like singing and performing. So I am just ready to unload the clip, to be honest, like to let me take the reins, like not what is supposed to take the reins, like job, this, even though I am still part of the system and all that type of good stuff, but I'm really trying to let me be the one, like all the creativity, anything that I want to just come to light. And like I said, content and creating videos has always been something I've wanted to do just because I love doing it. I love what you can do on computers and with editing and all that good jazz. So I'm just ready to see like what all that I can bring to life. And like I said, I have a family that, though we may not be the closest, like there are so many things that I want to do to help my family. So many generational curses and all that good jazz that like I just know that I am meant to break, and I'm not gonna be able to do that if I follow an orthodox path. Like it's just not gonna happen. So I'm kind of in my experimental, which is so crazy because like not this year, but there was a time my dad had told me he was in his experimental phase, and you think back to conversations and realize there may have been stuff there, but again, like I said, there was so much healing that needed to be done that could have been. So that's a whole another thing too. So yeah, so I'm kind of making this now for all the unorthodox people of the world, all the oldest siblings of the world, all the African daughters of the world, like all the not lost, but finding souls of the world right now, like just trying to figure it out. And I feel like a lot of times in this whole content world, I think it's getting better, to be honest. I think with the focus that there is on mental health and everything like that, like people are still being more transparent, but for all the Instagram and social media I've absorbed, like I still sometimes like feel like I don't see people with my situation, like the kids that really didn't have anything, like didn't have any support, like from family, like don't have that support even now, and like really just trying to fend for ourselves and trying to make it for our family. Like I don't know if I see that all the time. Maybe it's out there and I just, haven't looked hard enough. That's more than a possibility. But I feel like I know that I can do it for me. And it's also just like, yes, it's nice for like other people to see you and, the monetization and the whatever. But I don't know, like I feel like I'm making this video right now, what's today? Like July 3rd, and with everything going on in the world, because I'm also a big politics girl. I do love knowing what's going on in the world because I think it's important. Like even though the world is big, it is small. Like you can visit the entire world. Like you can, see everything. We go to every country, and I just think that shows how kind of like it's not that big. So where was I going with that? Let me think for a second. It's not that big. It's not that big. Yes. So it's not that big. So it's like I feel like you don't know what you can do, where you can go. So who knows, like where my life will be in the next 6 months, and I'll be able to watch this back and be like, oh, remember when you had to eat your freaking white chocolate chips for lunch and dinner, or when you had to go buy ramen from the little bodega downstairs, or when you had the eviction of, like, and to see what growth and what can happen. So I'm very, very excited. And I just wanted to make this little intro video. I feel like I should post the whole thing. I don't know. I think I'll edit the parts, like I said, I wanted to zoom into like makeup products and whatnot. But yes, because there's just a whole world of possibility and so many things I want to do and see. And like I said, I haven't seen somebody do what it is I really want to do. Like I can't even begin to explain my dreams and like my aspirations and whatnot. So I'm just very excited to do it for me because Little Precious deserves the world, and I'm going to make sure she sees it. I just love when the lash really lays nice, just laid right. I'm a big lashes girl, and I have tried the extensions. I've tried not the extensions, but the little cluster pieces. I'm a strip girl, man. I'm a strip girl. Also, don't judge me. There's just a little glue on them. I wash my lashes. I promise. I've washed them, but it's like sometimes the glue just be there, even when you just use it one time. So, but yes, there we go. Woo. Oh Lord. But yeah, so that, that's kind of my little intro to me. If you, I don't know, if you're also soul looking right now, or figuring yourself out, or just want to see somebody doing the absolute most crazy random stuff, and all this good jazz, and I hope you stick along and here for the ride. I don't know what the ride's gonna look like at all, but all I do know is that, I got above has let me know my success and my future and everything that I desire is guaranteed. I just have to show them that I want it and go after it. So That's what I'm doing right now, and I just didn't feel like I could do that being kind of stuck with the job that I had. Now, all that to say, I have been applying for jobs because, you know, at the end of the day, we do need to take care of that little leeching on some of these bills. And Lord knows, if I don't take care of it, ain't nobody gonna take care of it. So we're gonna take care of that. We have been applying. We've been applying for some very big girl jobs, and I'm so excited. There are some like we are just gonna let the universe work in our favor, because some of them that I saw, I'm like, perfect. Like, that's what I want to be doing. It's not that I didn't love my other job, it's just for where I'm at right now. Yes, I do put some of the blush under my cheeks. I really like the whole pink face look. And I get it, again, I'm going to the gym, but now my workout's gonna be so freaking nice because it looks cute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, there are some jobs that I see that wouldn't require me to like expend so much social battery, and like I have a new semester starting literally in like 4 days, and it just, I'm taking more classes than I usually had, and I actually had to stop classes last semester just because of how much the workload was. Like, I was on weekends and all that type of stuff, and I just didn't have like a really set schedule with my last job, so it just wasn't really working with my other like dreams and desires. And school was here first, so school, you know, we're gonna do that first. But yeah, so I am super excited to see where life goes. Y'all wish me the best on, you know, getting this money, these bills and whatnot. It's gonna work out, because, you know, somebody may say no, but God will always say yes. So we just sitting here, not sitting here, we're doing stuff. We're doing a lot of stuff. And yeah, I had Vaseline on already. Oh, this is the Charlotte Tilbury, and I was using a Sephora, like one of the Sephora brands, like liners, and then the Voluminous Original Mascara with L'Oreal for my bottom lash, which kind of leaves a little more. So yeah, now I'm about to put on my little gym outfit and I'm gonna lift a crazy amount of weights, which I'll probably put on the shorts, because that whole short concept on here, like YouTube shorts, is very cool, and we want to use that to our benefit as well. So I'm very excited. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you very much. And yeah, we'll be seeing each other. I don't know, I know a lot of YouTubers have like names for the, you know, I don't know if we're there yet, so I call everybody Lovebug or my baby or, you know, Honey Bun, whatever. So yeah, my loves, well, I will see you next time. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. If you're going to the gym, have a great gym day. If you're not going to the gym, still have a great day. I hope you have blessings and magic and fairy dust all in your day. Goodbye.